On this episode of the Teacher Biz podcast, I want to talk to you about setting your business up for success from the start by finding a mentor or a guide or a teacher to teach you about the online business that you're going to create and give you a path to follow along the way so that you're not figuring it out all on your own. And I also want to share with you some considerations that I think are really important in choosing who your teacher will be and deciding if this mentor is a right fit for you anyway. So I think this will be very helpful for you, especially if you're in the early stages of your business. But also, if you've been going at it for a while and not making much money or seeing much success yet, this could be the missing piece. And so I think it's definitely one that you're going to want to listen to. Here in 2014, there is no need to be reinventing the wheel and figuring out online business all on your own. There are so many people who have gone before you who have already figured out what works and what doesn't, and how to build a successful business. And it just makes so much more sense to learn from someone who has done it before and who knows how all of these pieces work together so that you have a strategy in place, so that you have a system to what you're doing, and so that you don't fall into that trap of just trying to do everything all at the same time. When you first get into online business, you will notice these ads coming up in your feed now that you're interested in this topic, and you will see free class after free class and free challenge and free promotional webinar or whatever it is. And in the beginning, you will want to sign up for all of that free content and learn from everyone out there. But the truth is, my friend, that not all of that content is created equal. And first of all, it is absolutely not beneficial to be trying to learn from everyone all at the same time. You will just get so muddled and confused. And the systems of all of these people will conflict with each other, and it will just be a frustrating experience for you. So I do not recommend that. I encourage you to not sign up for a free class from someone that you don't even know unless you really feel like this is the person that you want to learn from. But when you do find someone that you want to learn from, there is such a benefit to having a process to follow, to seeing how someone else is doing these things that you want to do inside of their own business. That is powerful. All through my business journey, I have been learning all along the way. I love learning business stuff. It is one of my very favorite things. It's part of the reason why I started Teacher Biz is that I'm so obsessed with marketing and business strategy. And I love talking about this stuff and I love learning about it. I really enjoy a good digital course on a business topic. When I find someone who is the right teacher for me and their content is good, that just makes my heart sing. So I want that for you too. I want you to have someone to follow, and I want you to learn from someone who's already done the thing that you want to do. That is just beyond powerful and super important for you in actually seeing success without spending years on YouTube and sifting through content and trying to figure out what is the right fit. And so let's just talk through what to consider when you're choosing your own online teacher. And if you are a regular listener here, then you might be feeling like I am the person that you want to learn from. And I would be excited if that were the case. I would love for you to learn more from me and be a part of my world and come into my community and be a student of mine. I am creating resources here in the Teacher Biz side of my business to help you and serve you as you build your business, including my free challenge, which, if you are listening to this live when it comes out, my free Plan Your Teacher Biz challenge is available to sign up for now. If you go to teacherbiz.com/challenge, and we will make that the top link in the show notes too, so you can just click through there. But I highly encourage you to come learn from me in my challenge if you feel like I am the right person for you to learn from. We will be breaking down how to decide on your special skill set, how to decide who you should serve with your business, and I will teach you the science of giving your business a strategic, good business name. But maybe I'm not the right teacher for you. I hope that I am. And if you're a regular listener here, then I think I probably am. But if you're new here and this is the first time you're hearing me and trying to decide if I am the right teacher for you or not, I'm going to give you some information now to make that decision or help you. So maybe as a teacher, you want someone who I wanted who can give a very step-by-step process of how to do things. That is what I aim to do. I want to break down what I have done in my own business and give it to you step by step by step. And what I've learned is that my students, who are generally teachers and planners, like to know the big picture too. So, what I do inside of my signature program is I give you the big picture in my Teacher Biz Blueprint framework. And every week in each lesson, we reference that framework as we then zoom into each lesson's topic. And then you can see where it fits in the framework and why you are learning this thing. I have learned from my students that that's something very beneficial to them. So I am definitely a step-by-step teacher. Now, some teachers are not that way. And so if you don't like learning in a step-by-step kind of a way, then maybe I'm not the right teacher for you. I prefer to learn step by step. And I think it's easier, especially when you're in the foundational building block stages of a business, to learn that way. But if you don't like that, then I might not be the right teacher for you. I am a teacher who gets to know my students on a deep level, who really remembers them and cares about them and builds relationships with my students. That is something incredibly important to me. That's how I was as a teacher, and that is how I will be as an online teacher, especially in my signature program, Teacher Biz Blueprint, where the community is smaller and intimate and really encouraging as a community. Maybe you don't like that. Maybe you would rather be a face in the crowd than someone who your teacher really knows and understands and cares for. Maybe that makes you uncomfortable for your teacher to remember your name when you show up next week for class, or remember the product or topic that you talked about last time. I like that as a student, but maybe you don't. So that's something to consider if you're deciding if I should be your teacher, because I care so much about my students. I am determined to meet them where they are and push them forward. And if you don't like that, then maybe I'm not the right teacher for you. I am also kind of mushy to my students. I just am. This is how I am on the kindergarten ready side of my business too. It's one of those things where I believe in being authentic and who you are and showing up as yourself in your business. And I'm kind of a mushy person. I'm mushy with my kids. I am just mushy in general. When I care about someone, I care deeply. And so I am kind of mushy as a teacher. I will tell my students how proud I am of them and how I'm so honored to be their teacher. And I will mean that wholeheartedly. And I'm a little embarrassed to admit this, but when my last round of Teacher Biz Blueprint students were graduating and leaving me, we were doing like a last day kind of intensive coaching call where they were leaving the program and graduating. And um, I was feeling kind of emotional about that. I was so proud of these teachers who had come to me with just like a scrap of an idea and how far they had come in the time that they spent with me. And so I'm a little embarrassed to tell you, but I cried. I teared up a little during that call together with my students. It is genuinely how I feel. It's not a line, but the line that I said that really like punched me in the gut and made the tears come was when I told my students that they are my future success stories. I think just the timing of it, how we were ending this intensive program together, I had poured my soul into this course that I created for them. And we went through this really interactive, immersive learning experience together. And then at the end, when I said that to them, it made me really emotional. Now, maybe, maybe you don't like to learn from someone who is so emotional. I am also the type of teacher who is really encouraging, who is always cheering my students on. If you're on my email list, then you know that I end every single email with cheering for you. And I cheer so hard for my students. And maybe you don't like that. Maybe you're someone who doesn't like that, and that is okay if you don't, but that's how I am. I like that in a teacher. I have not found that much in a teacher who knows me on a deep enough level to really be sincerely encouraging. But I do find that helpful whenever someone is. And that's how I want to be for my students. It's another thing about showing up as myself. I'm kind of an encouraging person, and that's how I am in real life, and that's how I will be to my students. What I am not is an in your face, you have to do this work your face off and get it done type of a teacher. Maybe that's something that you're looking for. Maybe you respond better to someone like Gary Vaynerchuk, who's kind of in your face, work your face off. I am not that way, and I don't want to be that way, and I won't. And if you learn better from someone with that kind of a teaching style, then I encourage you to find someone like that. There are plenty of people like that in the online business world. Maybe you'll find your person somewhere else if that's what you're looking for. Something I have found helpful as a student is when I can see inside someone else's business. I love that. I love to see behind the curtain and spy and really see how someone is doing something inside of their own business. To me, that is so incredibly helpful in picturing how I could do that thing in my business too, and in actually implementing that thing. And that is what I strive to do for my students. I am an open book like no one I've ever seen. I will share inside behind the scenes of my business and the things that have worked for me. And I will be incredibly honest about the things that did not work for me and explain why I think that that is. And I really do that in a way that I think is unusual online. I think these days people kind of play their cards close to their chest and don't want to give away too many of their secrets because maybe they see their students as their future potential competition. But to me, I just want to teach you everything I know because, as I've told you a million times now, I'll make this 1,000,001. If I can do this, you can do this too. And I want to show you how I did it so that you can replicate it. And I have no fear. I have no fear that someone will take my business or copy exactly what I've done in my business. I talk to my students about that. In the very beginning of my program, we talk about modeling versus copying. And I think that as teachers, we're very familiar with these concepts. And I also feel like I attract people out there on the internet to me who are kind of similar to me, who have integrity. You are likely this way if you listen to this podcast. You're a person of integrity who wouldn't do that. And so I am just not afraid to share behind the scenes of my business and tell you what has worked for me. That's something I like to do here on the podcast too. I like to show you what has worked in my business so that you can try those strategies out for yourself. And I do that on a much deeper level inside of my paid programs because there's more ability to do that there. One more consideration that I think is really important when you're deciding if someone is the right business teacher for you is if they are running the same kind of business that you want to run. Do they have the same kind of products that you want to have? Can you see yourself running a business in a similar way to them? So let me give you an example. On the kindergarten ready side of my business, I sell mainly printable digital products. I also have a digital course and I have a membership of digital products. All of my products exist online. If you are someone who only wants to sell a physical product shipped in the mail, I might not be the best person for you to learn from because, frankly, I don't know a whole lot about that. If you're someone who wants to sell a physical product alongside digital products, maybe you would like to learn from me because I can really help you with the strategy on the digital product side, but I won't be able to help you a ton with the physical product part of it. So that's something important to keep in mind. If you are someone who wants to sell lower priced products to moms or teachers, then you would likely want to find someone who sells lower priced products in their business and makes a decent income doing that. So for me, I am making multiple six figures, several six figures, selling low priced digital products. And I also have a low priced membership at either 12 or 22, which that price is about to raise to 14 or $24 a month is the pricing of my membership. And I have over 800 members inside of that membership. So you can do that math for yourself. But I make over six figures just from my membership alone at a low price point that my customer can afford. Now, if you are someone who only wants to sell super high priced products, maybe I'm not the best person for you to learn from. But I think on the reverse is almost more true. If you are someone who wants to sell lower priced products, mid-priced products to moms, homeschool moms, or moms of kids that need some help learning, or teachers, or any other kind of a consumer that doesn't have thousands of dollars to spend on whatever kind of a product that you're bringing to them, then I would urge you to not learn just from someone who has only sold high ticket products. I think there's such a difference in how to sell things that are very high priced versus how to sell things that are lower priced. And there's just such a benefit in learning from someone who has already done the things that you're trying to do and has the kind of business that you're trying to build. I hope that breakdown helped you decide if you want to learn more from me or if I'm not your girl. And either way, I encourage you to find someone that you do want to learn from online because it is just such a shortcut to get to where you want to go to follow a path that has already been paved by someone else. If you do want to learn more from me, then I would love to teach you what I know and help you be successful along the way. I hope this episode was helpful for you, and I'm cheering for you.